Hello, hello, beautiful humans. Welcome back to Downloads with Dawn, part of the Aligned Human Project. I'm your contrarian soul guide, and I'm here to help you bridge science and spirit, field and form, so that success finally feels like freedom again. Let's talk about something we rarely say out loud. You can hit every goal, build the life you dreamed of, and still feel empty. That dull ache you can't quite name, it's not failure. It's not depression. It's your soul saying, I'm ready for something real. So stay with me to the end because you'll walk away knowing why achievement no longer satisfies the soul, what your nervous system is trying to tell you, the energetic science behind alignment, and a powerful reclamation practice to bring your energy home today. Let's start here. We live in a culture that worships performance, achievement, productivity, and proving. And it works until it doesn't. You become what the world calls successful, but underneath it, you're spiritually dehydrated, chasing peace through doing. Because here's the truth. Your soul doesn't come here to be impressive. It came here to be expressed. Busy isn't a badge. It's a cage. Most high achievers don't burn out because they're weak. They burn out because they've been living out of rhythm with their design. That exhaustion you feel, that's your field whispering. We've outgrown this. You didn't outgrow your life. You outgrew the version of you who built it from survival mode. Let's bring in the science because truth and data are old friends. Harvard's 75-year happiness study, the longest in the world, found that success doesn't equal fulfillment. It's connection that creates meaning to ourselves, to others, to purpose. When we disconnect from our internal signals, we become anxious, numb, and restless. The nervous system's way of saying you're living outside your natural rhythm. Dr. Lisa Feldman Barrett's research on emotional granularity shows that when we stop naming what we feel, the body interprets it as danger. We live in constant low-grade fight or flight and then wonder why we can't feel peace. Burnout isn't your body quitting, it's your spirit calling time out. When we slow down, breathe, and feel, our vagus nerves signal safety. Our heart rhythm stabilizes and coherence returns. The field reorganizes. It isn't woo, it's biology in service of divinity. Let's break this down through Law 1 of field and form. Conscious creation is constant. You are always creating through thought, through focus, through frequency. Even when you're exhausted, even when you're doubting, you are broadcasting energy into the field. The field is your inner world, beliefs, emotions, nervous system state. And the form is your outer world, your relationships, body, work, money, reality. When the field evolves, but your form doesn't, you start feeling that subtle friction. Life stops fitting. That friction isn't punishment. It's intelligence. It's your soul saying it's time to update the form to match who you've become. You see, often when we think our life is falling apart, that everything is going wrong, that we're losing our identity, it's often the foundation for what we're trying to build. See, 12 years ago, I started asking the question, why do some people heal and some people don't? It was a question I was asking based on personal traumas, mental, emotional, physical. And I wanted to understand, why is it that some people can move on in their life and be happy and fulfilled, and others get caught into the loops of victimization or fighting victims, such as myself, the survivor? In that journey of questioning, I started to discover myself through personal development, through understanding the science, the psychology, and the spiritual aspects of self. And as I was doing this personal development, I started to feel like things weren't quite fitting. You see, I still loved all the people in my life. I still loved my family. I still loved my husband. In many ways, I was even still enjoying my work, but only aspects of it. I started to feel like things weren't fitting anymore. You see, at the time, I was a lighting designer. And I'll be honest, my ego was very well fed. I had a really great life. And the idea of changing any of it didn't seem logical. But it wasn't fitting. The person that I was becoming, as I explored those questions and started to wonder, who am I, no longer was fitting my form, my outer reality. And I started to have friction. My inner world was struggling to align with this outer world. All these things that had brought me so much joy, all these things that I thought I was supposed to be wanting and achieving, no longer were fitting. And I just couldn't seem to stop it. We can't be in alignment, in attunement with our soul, while we work in a career that does harm. It just doesn't work. We try to justify it. We put things into their boxes, and it doesn't work. We have to bring them into attunement. Sometimes it's just making little tiny tweaks. Sometimes it means making serious adjustments. Because, let's name it, most of what we call success is built from fear. Fear of not being enough, fear of losing control, fear of disappointing others. We mistake performance for purpose. But purpose without presence will always leave you hollow. And that was my experience. You don't need more discipline. You need more devotion. Devotion to truth. Devotion to energy. Devotion to self. That's what alignment really is. Not perfection, but devotion to your coherence. So let's slow everything down. Go ahead and place your hand on your heart. Feel your own pulse, the original rhythm of the field. And take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth a little longer, a little softer. And then repeat. Where am I overperforming what my soul has already outgrown? Just let it echo. Don't think, just feel. That tightening in your chest, that's your truth surfacing. Now whisper to yourself, I reclaim my energy from everything that no longer resonates. Every breath you take is a reclamation. Every exhale is a return to coherence. Science calls it vagal activation, and spirit calls it coming home. This is alignment. When your body, your breath, your beliefs, and your energy start speaking the same language again. You were never meant to grind your way through life. You were meant to co-create it. That quiet emptiness you've been feeling isn't failure. It's an invitation to evolve. You're remembering who you are, a divine creator, a coherent field in human form, a sovereign soul in motion. This is what it means to be an aligned human, to live awake, on purpose, in coherence with your inner compass. If this stirred something in you, let it. That's your field of waking up. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss an episode of Downloads with Dawn. And I invite you to join the Awakening Circle for weekly integration. The link is in the bio. And I am so excited to share we are opening applications for Align Your Life, a new immersive coaching experience for those ready to stop performing and start embodying their truth. Because success that costs you yourself isn't success. Alignment, that's freedom. That's the beginning of everything. With love and coherence, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.